another episode of Another Pokemon Podcast. My name is Becs.
And my name is Galatrad.
Today we're going to be talking about the legendary and mythical Pokemon from the Gen 2 games.
Yeah. Specifically, we're going to be talking about, you're going to be talking about
two-parter.
Yeah, this is our first ever two-parter, I think.
No, it's not. True Crime.
Well, but that was part 1 in season 1, and then part 2 in season 2.
We for sure have a part 1 and part 2 something.
I don't think we do. I think this is our very first
we
time. Well, and now we will, because this will be part 1, and then part 2 will be the other half of it, which will be my half. But you're going to talk about the dogs or cats?
Dogs. We're going to talk about the dogs.
The dogs.
The dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the legendary dogs from the Gen 2 games. But before we get started on that, Galatrad.
Yeah.
How are you, buddy?
Why are you acting like you haven't seen me in forever?
Because that's the point. We all are catching up with you.
Oh,
that's the point of the segment.
Okay.
Hello? I don't actually care how you are. I ask for the fans. The fans want to know.
I thought you cared. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I recently really just been kind of, I guess, working on myself. I've been like exploring a bunch of different things. I've got a new hobby that I'm kind of into that I've been journaling a lot.
He just learned how to write.
I just learned how to write and read.
To be honest, I will say, unless being like your job as an adult involves physically writing with a pen, it is hard to write as an adult. It is, because I'm typing all day.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like, I've noticed that the neatness of my writing has definitely improved as I've continued to journal every single day.
Yeah, my penmanship is horrible.
But like the whole 9 yards. Like I got myself a pretty inexpensive fountain pen.
Yeah.
And some ink for it. It's very pretty. I love it, and I've just been having a lot of fun with that. I've also been playing a lot of Pragmata recently, and then of course, a little update. I know last time I talked about Pokemon Champions, I had mentioned that I was in the Ultra Ball or maybe even the Great Ball tier at the time. I am now Master Ball rank.
Yeah, you are.
In Pokemon Champions. So not like the biggest accomplishment, I guess, but I feel pretty excited about that. Like, I feel good about the fact that I was able to get there. Though after I hit Master Rank, I did kind of fall off a little bit just because our schedules got super hectic and there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, having a good time.
Well, as someone that heard you fight your way to the top, to Master Ball, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you because it was clearly a rough time for a couple times.
Yeah, I definitely. What I will say,
like you flew through Ultra Ball, though. I feel like I heard more grumbling and mumbling towards the beginning, and then some grumbling and mumbling towards the very end because you were stressed.
Well, really, what that accounts to is that I took a step back and was like, if I'm in a bad mood, I don't need to be playing this because I will make poor decisions and put myself in a worse mood. And that's what I did. I was the day prior to me hitting Master Ball rank, I played games and won up until I had like a two or maybe 3 game losing streak and was like, all right, nope, I'm done. This is it for me. And then I was just set it down for the rest of the day and then picked it back up and won every game up until I hit Master Rank.
I feel like that's like that with any game. I feel like you're trying to solve like a puzzle or something and you feel like you've covered every base that you can. You go, all right, I'm done for the day. I give up. You come back the next day, you breeze through it. Like it's just part of it.
Fresh set of eyes.
Yeah, for sure.
But what about you? What have you been up to?
Well, I've been having a great time. I had stopped reading for a little while, like just to get a little bit of a break, but I picked back up on my reading. So I've been reading some good books.
Yeah.
And I just played through and beat for the second time Arkham Asylum.
Yes, you did.
I want to play the rest of the Arkham games. I just never have. I really liked the first one, never really picked up on the others. So that's what I have primarily been doing other than work and taking care of business.
Yeah.
But
hey, how's Twilight Princess?
We are not going to talk about that. I did play Twilight Princess, but I just was like, the Wii U turned itself off.
It's rough.
And I was like, that's a sign. And I just stopped.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good nostalgia though. I do love. Obviously, I love Zelda, but it's like it was so funny because I was literally playing Twilight Princess and I was like, I think I want to restart Breath of the Wild. You're like, all right,
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but yeah, excited to be back. Excited to talk about Pokemon today.
Yeah.
I need to start. That's what I need to do. I need to at least a little bit a day continue playing my Gen 2 playthrough because that's going to be here before we know it.
Yeah, it's almost season 2 finale is almost here.
I know. Scary. But yeah, we're going to dive into the legendary dogs today. Oh my gosh. But before we do that, we need listener feedback.
We do.
Terrible.
Have you
Terrible.
forgotten how this works?
Yes. I was like, forget the listeners. Even though you can hear me. No, we're listener feedback. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm not with it today with hosting. So, yes, listener feedback. So sorry. All over on Instagram, we got a message from Isaac120. And this is in reference, just for context, this is around the time that we posted about Mega Raichu and the hype.
Yeah, when Mega Raichu was announced.
Right. So we posted that, and Isaac120 messaged us and said, I was stoked for the Raichu love, but I was even more happy for Galutrat, hoping that he likes at least one of these new designs. Yeah, and he does.
I do. I like both of them.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've talked about it already before, but they're both precious, and the moment I can purchase plushes of them, I will.
I want the tufts, the ear tufts.
Yeah, I know. You like X over Y.
Yeah.
Or no, you like Y over X.
Yeah, that's Y.
Yeah. So, but we will be getting both. It will continue to add to my Raichu collection.
You just got, courtesy of somebody that loves you, you just got a Raichu Squishmallow ordered.
I did. Those came out, and yes. and I texted you because I've been the one who has been purchasing them.
The Pokemon Squishmallows.
Yes,
yeah, for the
as
most part.
Gifts for you because they're primarily for yours.
Yeah, because I think the only one I've bought is I feel like I bought Rowlet because it was just in a Walgreens, and I was like, "You're coming home with me." And then I bought Clefairy in Hawaii, but yeah, Raichu.
For the most part, I've bought all of them for you, and so I texted you when the link was available, and I was like, "It's your turn."
It's crazy because now I have a Raichu Squishmallow, and you don't have one.
Oh my gosh, that's so weird. Yeah, and I have all these other ones.
No, he's very excited about the designs and
absolutely.
And yeah, what's not to love? They're both so cute. Thank you, Isaac, for that message. And then over on Apple Podcasts, we got a 5-star review. Woo! From a user called Psychic Cat with a little kitty cat smiley face emoji. And the review is called Love the Pod. And Psychic Cat said, this podcast is so awesome. I started listening a week ago and I've learned so much about Pokemon. My favorite evolution is Umbreon and Espeon. Do an episode on the best region. And then it says scroll down, and then there are a couple little divots, and then it says Hoenn is the best because of Mudkip. I really like the Hoenn region.
So I hear you like Mudkips.
Mudkips are great. Trico is also great.
Yeah. Shout out to AJ. He loves Trico.
Oh, I was waiting for you to be mean, and because you're a Trico hater. And Torchic is cute too.
They're very good starters.
There is no wrong in Hoenn. What? The only thing wrong in Hoenn is that one area where it's raining and the little ninja people keep popping up at you. That area feels like it's never gonna end.
I mean, we're going to Hoenn next season, so I'm really excited to play through Omega
I'll make you play through that part.
What?
I'll be like, here you go.
No, you gotta play through all of them.
Maybe it'll be easier as an adult. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's right after the Windtree City or whatever it's called, though. Anyways, no, Hoenn's great, and thank you so much for the review. Those really help the channel, so we really appreciate it. And great choices on the evolution. Did you notice Umbreon and Espeon?
I did.
Great
I did
choices,
notice that. Those are good choices.
Solid.
For sure. Yeah. Then over on our website from user Lyra, this is on our What a Shock episode, which was all about our favorite electric types. And Lyra said, my favorite electric types are Luxray and Raikou.
Ooh,
so,
good choices.
Yeah, excellent choices.
And good timing.
Love the theming of Raikou. That's excellent. This will be, hopefully there's more reason to love Raikou that Becs will share with us. But thank you so much for leaving a comment over on our website. We really appreciate it.
And they're both kind of lion-y,
big
cat vibe.
Yeah, Luxray especially.
Very cool.
I think has major cat vibes. So I love the little electric cat.
Oh yeah, Raiku's a dog. Bark, bark. Sorry,
Maybe.
my bad.
I don't know. And then finally over on Spotify from user VS4408. This is on our A Ghastly Ghoulish Time episode, all about our favorite ghost types. And VS says, my number one favorite ghost type Pokemon is Gengar, because not only was his evolution line my very first ghost Pokemon, but also, and more importantly, when I played Pokemon Red on the Game Boy Pocket back in the day, it came down to my Gengar versus Gary's Blastoise.
Ooh.
All of his and my other Pokemon were KO'd. As the final two Pokemon battling it out for the top position as Pokemon League champion, and my Gengar clutched the win. It's a loved memory I hold to this day.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
That is so cute. I love that.
And Game Boy
you.
Pocket. You love a Game Boy Pocket.
You're thinking Game Boy Micro.
Isn't that not what that is?
No, the Game Boy Pocket was a version of the actual Game Boy that was much smaller. And I think it had a backlight. I might be wrong on that.
That would be cool.
But it was a Game Boy that had a backlight, I think. And again, it's called the Pocket because it was small enough that it could fit in your pocket very
cool.
easily,
yeah.
which most of them can. But specifically the original chunky brick gray Game Boy that had not even color, just like green and shades of green.
Yeah.
This one was after that, I believe. I could be getting my timeline wrong.
Cool. I'll have to look that up. No, that's a great story, and what a great choice, and what a great reason for the pick.
For sure. Yeah, I love that you hold that memory so close to you even to this day. That's awesome. What a cool. Beck said it perfectly. What a great pick and a great way to have that be your favorite ghost.
Well, thank you so much to everybody who submitted listener feedback. As you all know, we love listener feedback. We read it every episode, even when we almost forget to read it every episode. And we really enjoy reading these types of stories and memories and learning about what your favorite Pokemons are and what your own personal journey is. And if you'd like to leave us more listener feedback, you can do that anywhere on the internet. We're on all of the social medias that you can think of, except for Facebook. I'm pretty sure we're on like X, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, all the things.
Yeah.
You can also shoot us a message over on our website, or you can email us at anotherpokemonpodcast@gmail.com. And then, of course, last but not least, you could leave us a 5-star review if you're so inclined, and that really helps the algorithm push our show to the top of the keyword searches, and gives us even more visibility, more views. So we love those.
Absolutely.
Especially, but any feedback we enjoy, and we appreciate you guys when you leave that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's socials. Our name is Another PKMN Pod. But if you look up Another Pokemon Podcast, we'll pop up. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Guy Tread.
Yeah.
Now, are you ready for a new fetch quest?
What?
Fetch quest, like a dog.
Oh, that's cute. I'm very proud of you.
Are you ready to sit?
No.
And listen?
Yes, actually.
Do you want to talk about the legendary dogs?
Why are you talking to me like I'm Zora or Game?
Because it's fun. So yeah, legendary dogs or beasts or cats.
Yeah.
Pick your poison. Whichever one you like. That is the topic of today. Very similarly to how we chatted through the legendary birds last time, which that was a little bit, there was less to argue about what they were.
Yeah.
For the birds, they're definitely birds.
I think they're platypuses.
Yes.
Yeah.
The flying, it's platypi.
Platypi.
The flying platypi in the sky. No, the legendary Pokemon we're talking about today are Suicune, Entei, and Raikou.
Yeah.
And I will say, before I jump into my info that I have for you guys, I will say they have a wild creation story.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
And it delves, there's two different ways that it can be interpreted, and we'll talk about those, and we'll also talk about a little bit about how each of the individual dogs, as we get to them, kind of feeds into these two different interpretations of how they even came to be. So obviously, legendary dogs, Gen 2, right? We're setting the scene. So it's where these appear in Pokemon Gold for the first time, Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal, and then they're also in the Heart Gold and Soul Silver remakes as well. The legend of these Pokemon stems from Ecruteak City in the Johto region, where it's said that they were given a second chance by Ho-Oh after losing their lives in the Brass Tower. That is like the first interpretation of this. So according to the legend, the tower caught fire after being struck by a bolt of lightning, causing it to now be known as the Burned Tower. So when you arrive in Ecruteak City, present day, and by present day I mean 2001, whatever time in Gen 2, when you walk into Ecruteak City, there is no Brass Tower anymore. When you're walking in, when you're playing the game, you walk in Ecruteak City, and in the top most northwest corner there's a place called the Burned Tower. And the Burned Tower is where you will encounter these Pokemon for the first time. And I kind of just misspoke because that is not up for interpretation. That is what happened.
Yes.
Ho-Oh did give them a second chance. What's up for interpretation is whether or not they were always the Pokemon that they are, or whether they were originally evolutions, which I think is pretty cool.
The leading theory.
Yeah. So some people choose to believe that Raikou, Entei, Suicune are independent Pokemon. They've always been those Pokemon. That's it. Like, that's like Pikachu is Pikachu. Like, that's the tweet.
I suppose that it could be that back in the day, Raikou, Suicune, and Entei were not considered legendary Pokemon.
Could be.
And maybe these three in particular.
Well, aren't there pseudo legendaries? Am I making that up? No, is that a real thing?
That's like a fan given thing, a fan named thing. But like, I'm just saying lore wise, it could be that like there used to be a lot of these Pokemon running around, and maybe they dwindled down, and these are the last three. And so like as a blessing to them.
Well, there are multiples in the Pokemon universe.
There are.
There just aren't in the Gen 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
But yeah, so one theory is just that they are what they are. The other theory is that Entei was a Flareon, Suicune was a Vaporeon, and Raikou was a Jolteon.
Yeah.
And then when they were brought back by Ho-Oh's magical powers, they became the new legendaries.
Yeah, which I really love that theory.
Yeah. I do too. I think it definitely makes it. I think it definitely makes it interesting, and then it adds to like the legendary dog theory, and it adds to like the name.
Yeah.
And it adds to like the similarities between each one of those. Obviously, like typing and everything is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It also ties in, the evolution theory also ties in because within Ecruteak City, one of the biggest entertainment and character like NPCs in that town are the Kimono Girls.
Yes, and they all have
the evolutions as partners, and there's more than just the original 3 evolutions because it's Gen 2. There's also Umbreon and Espeon trainers as well, but that also ties in with that theory too because it means that there's already evolutions in that town.
Yeah.
Assuming that they had evolutions, like they're like if it's a family generational thing, like their ancestors had evolutions too.
I could see that.
Yeah. That is the theory. That's part of it. And then another theory is that they became the embodiments of rain, lightning, and fire from the storm and the aftermath, which I think it's kind of both. I could see both.
Yeah.
Like that's why they're so much stronger than the evolutions, is because they got their power from what happened to them. No matter what you believe, though, they are now and forever known as Raikou, Entei, and Suicune.
Yeah.
When you first encounter the legendary dogs, they're in the basement of the Burn Tower, and as soon as they see you, they take off.
They do. They be running. And that's pretty much the story of their lives. They run, and they wander the entire region. And when you encounter them again as a quote-unquote wild Pokemon encounter in the tall grass, they run away pretty quickly. Yeah.
And the only gameplay exception to that is Suicune, and that's specifically in the Heart Gold, Soul Silver remakes, which we'll talk about more when we get to Suicune.
And Crystal version as well.
And Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote the synopsis on the 3 of them as a group before I dove in, and I do mention that Crystal is part of that too at the end. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
No worries.
So all 3, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Crystal version. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
For Suicune specifically. So I'm going to talk about Raikou first, and then we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back for Entei and Suicune.
That sounds great.
And Raikou has probably the least information available, I would say.
So unloved.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad. Like, I feel like Suicune gets a lot of love, a lot. And is a huge part of a lot of different parts of the franchise. And Entei isn't a huge part of the franchise, but he does have additional parts. And Raikou just feels like kind of left out a little bit of the three. But Raikou's a great Pokemon. From the Silver Pokedex, Raikou races across the land while barking a cry that sounds like crashing thunder. And in the Gold Pokedex, it's said to have descended with lightning.
Can I just say, the word bark and crashing thunder, or barking a cry and then crashing thunder, those are opposites of one another. Like that's such a weird way to phrase it, but it makes sense too, because it's a dog. Well,
and that's the English version. So like maybe whoever interpreted it poorly. Yeah. Or maybe it was just weirdly written.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea is that he definitely can, like, I don't know what an airbender for thunder and lightning is, but he has the power to use both of those. And he does. He exudes like lightning from his body almost at all times, especially when he's threatened.
Yeah.
And I think because the Gold Pokedex, it's the part that said that Raikou descended from lightning. I'm assuming that's the lightning from the storm.
Yeah.
That's feeding into that theory of taking on the embodiment of the lightning, I think. Raikou is said to be based off a Raiju. I hope I'm saying that right. Raiju. Raiju.
Okay.
In Japanese. It's a Japanese yokai legend that uses lightning powers. It typically resembles a wolf or a dog like creature. Raiju are known to be incredibly fast and powerfully dangerous, and they're often depicted as the villain in the legends they star in.
Interesting.
I don't think Raikou is a villain in the Pokemon universe.
No, I would disagree completely.
Right. But it's not known for being super friendly. It's very distrustful of humans until it's proven wrong.
Yeah. Well, maybe because it hasn't gotten a movie or its own game.
Well, and why was it left in that tower?
Yeah. Good call.
Just wondering. Methinks that the Kimono Girls' grandmothers weren't so nice. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't listen to that. I do believe this is pretty common with legendary Pokemon, like not being trustful of humans until they are proven wrong. But it could explain part of the reason that Raikou and the other legendary dogs run away from encounters during the games.
That could be.
Raikou, like the other legendary dogs, has a Paradox Pokemon counterpart that appears in the Pokemon Scarlet version of the games, which exclusively Pokemon Scarlet is called out because they are the ones that have the ancient Paradox Pokemon.
Yes.
Violet has a different set of Paradox Pokemon known as the Future Paradox.
Yeah, they're based off of the counterpart. Violet's counterparts for Scarlet's paradoxes being Raikou, Entei, and Suicune are the Swords of Justice, which are Virizion, Cobalion, and Terrakion.
Yeah, which are they're completely different vibes on all of those. Mm-hmm. The Paradox Pokemon that resembles Raikou is called Raging Bolt, which gains a dragon typing, which is a theme you'll find out. Raikou is just electric, and it boasts a longer neck, like a Bronchiosaurus or another long-necked dinosaur of some kind. And then fun fact.
Yeah.
I love doing that. Fun fact. Raging Bolt is the tallest Paradox Pokemon and is also the tallest and heaviest electric type Pokemon.
Huh. I knew that for electric. I didn't realize. I guess that makes sense though, because it is essentially a giraffe.
Yeah, it's a long neck.
That's so funny though that you bring up, because I won't spoil it. I'll let you get into it later. But I 100% just thought of a giraffe, and I now see that I was totally wrong with that it is in fact a long neck, and I understand why, but I did not put those two things together originally.
A long neck.
Yeah.
I'm saying that like Land Before Time. I hope people get that reference. I also wanted to show you, and please, for the listeners, please feel free to look this up because it's really interesting. Raikou's design has vastly undergone a transformation over the years.
Really?
So it started out, and I'll just pass it to you. It almost looks like a shaggy zebra looking dog.
Oh, that is those are the, you don't have to pass it to me. That is the space
whatever
the
it's
Space
called.
World something where they showed off a demo
The
of the
Gen
game.
2, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it started off as more of like it looks like a dog
Yes,
in this picture. And then it becomes, in the Gen 2 release, it becomes more like tiger-ish looking. And it has, it's got more of like an orange coloring in those games. And then later it gets the purple added to it.
Yeah.
Which I think looks really cool.
I do too. I think it gives the tail or like the coat thing a more thundercloud aesthetic that's following it.
Yeah, it's very neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Raikou. It's
awesome.
pretty simplistic for him. But it's very cool Pokemon. So we will go take a cake break, and then we will be right back for some more legendary dog action.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Great.
All right. We'll be back.
Bye.
Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Katie.
And we'd like to tell you about our show, Another Zelda Podcast. Whether you've been playing Zelda games from the beginning,
or just started with Breath of the Wild, we have something for everyone.
From deep dives into how the games are made, review episodes.
We even make top 10 lists and do a bit of music talk.
That's right. If it's about The Legend of Zelda, we cover it. Listen to Another Zelda Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll see you there.
And we're back.
Well, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Okay, sorry. So yeah, we're gonna dive into more legendary dog information.
Yeah.
Starting with Entei.
Oh,
right
I
now.
thought we would have dove into Suicune.
No, Suicune has a lot more.
Yeah,
to
it's water
chit-chat
type
through.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, well then we're gonna
No, we can
blast
do
off to
Entei.
Entei. So Entei is the fire type legendary dog Pokemon, and may I say it's my favorite legendary
Really?
dog. Yeah.
I would have thought Suicune.
No, I like Entei a lot.
Okay.
And it's because of the third
Yeah,
thing.
Papa.
We're gonna talk about it in a second. But yeah, it's because of a different reason that's not the main video games.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, Entei is the fiery legendary dog, and he is said to, or it is said to be able to control magma, which is really neat because I never really thought about. I know it's heat, so like blah, but I never really thought about like it affecting like lava.
Yeah, when I think fire, I don't necessarily
just think fire.
I don't necessarily think lava,
Yeah,
which is cool.
yeah. But yeah, apparently multiple Dex entries state that when Entei barks, and there you go,
Yep.
it causes volcanoes to erupt.
That's scarier than making the sound of thunder.
It's really scary.
even if Raikou called down thunder on something when he barked, like imagine you have Entei as a pet and he barks and it's national news. Entei barked today.
Yeah,
causing a volcanic eruption.
The news is crazy when volcanoes do erupt.
Yeah.
And I would be like
we have entire
we need
science
to muzzle this
divisions
dog.
dedicated.
We can't be having volcanoes just erupt
No.
every time you bark.
Entire science divisions dedicated to monitoring what volcanoes are doing, and this dog is just like ruff, and instantly kaboom.
And in addition to it being able to make them erupt, it's even said that sometimes when Entei is born, it can be born from the eruption of volcanoes.
That's cool. That
Which
makes
is cool,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
With that, I like that the chicken and egg part of it
Yeah.
a little bit, but I would prefer the egg to chicken part versus the chicken to egg part, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Okay. Like let's just have that be a happy accident when we get an eruption.
Yeah.
Let's not cause more.
Yeah.
Perfect. Just like it is said that Raikou is born from the lightning that it started its demise, Entei is said to be born from the flames.
Mm-hmm.
While Entei has had the same presence as Raikou in the games and was on a similar playing field with it, it is the star of the third Pokemon movie, Pokemon 3, the movie in the US, where it becomes an unintentional antagonist against the usual Pokemon animated series crew and the overprotective guardian of a new character, Molly Hale.
Yeah.
And that is why I like Entei.
Yeah.
I never once saw it as the villain, but apparently the internet has decided it is.
It definitely is.
It
the
is.
villain.
Yeah, it is. And I I understand that as an adult. I will say that.
Yes.
But as a child, I was like, that's just her papa. Leave him alone.
He is
And apparently,
a Pokemon.
My mind is blown. We have to actually talk about this for a second. Apparently, he's not real.
No.
In the movie.
Yeah. He's a figment of the unknown.
It's a figment.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Spoilers. We'll get to that in season 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, but we're gonna watch the movie and talk through it. Like this
with
is crazy.
With special guest, hopefully.
But yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't even realize the antagonist part of the story as a child. I was
so
just like,
really Entei is not
protecting.
the villain. Entei, the unknown,
unintentional.
The
Yeah, for sure. He's not purposely trying. It's not like Mewtwo where he's purposely trying to cause some chaos.
Mewtwo is like, I'm here to ruin y'all.
He's just trying to protect his person.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Zora.
Yeah.
It's just like my Tiana in the living room, just trying to protect me, but he doesn't need to protect me from my friends.
No.
Anyways, yeah, I think that whole movie is cool. I think Entei has such a cool presence in the movie. I think it's cool to see him in action.
Mm-hmm.
And he just doesn't get that same love in the games. It's pretty minimal.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really cool to see him in the movies though. Gouging Fire.
Yeah.
That's the Paradox
Hidden
Pokemon.
Dragon.
Yeah. Gouging Fire is the Paradox Pokemon form of Entei, similar to what Raging Bolt is for Raikou.
Yeah.
And it also gets a dragon typing. And the star-like crown on Entei's head. So Entei's got almost like a. I always thought it looked like a Staryu, but I know it's not. But it has like a star on its head.
Yeah.
That kind of grows and becomes more of like a large horn-like structure for Gouging Fire. And it's almost like a Triceratops in appearance.
It most definitely is a Triceratops, I think. Yeah.
And Gouging Fire is the heaviest Paradox Pokemon.
Oh. So Raikou's the tallest. Raging Bolt is the tallest. Gouging Fire is the heaviest. I wonder if
and Suicune is just
will be.
here for the vibes. Entei's design hasn't changed as much as Raikou's overall because from Gen 2 to anything else, it's the same.
Yeah.
But in its Space World 97 debut, it looks like a Flareon.
Yeah.
But like not as sassy.
Yeah.
It's just like a fire dog. It's cool. It's
honestly,
cool Pokemon.
that one I think. I mean, I guess I'd have to see Suicune's if there's one again, but like I feel like Entei's looks more like the final product than Raikou did.
Yeah, Raikou looked like I feel like Raikou inspired my Tiana or Houndoom or something.
Yeah.
Or Zipstrika.
Yeah. The zebra.
But the Entei looks pretty cool. I don't know. I kind of like the more dog looking.
Yeah.
He looks like
there's a place
Lassie
for it for sure.
bit.
A different timeline.
Yeah, for sure. But that's really it for Entei. Now it's getting twisted.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. Suicune.
Not an ice type.
Not an ice type.
But you'd think.
Did I think it was an ice type, or did you think it was an ice type?
I always think it's an ice type.
No,
and
just
I
a
have to
water
remember
type.
It's water.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's because it's a Vaporeon. No, Suicune is just the water type legendary dog.
Yeah.
In the trio, it plays a huge part in the Pokemon universe.
Yes, it
as
does.
As a whole, it is said to be the incarnation of the North Wind.
That also feels ice type to me.
It does feel ice type. It's almost like
where the North Wind meets the sea.
It's
That's
almost
Suicune.
like they had to give, like they had Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres, right? They had one thing. Their job was beach, and they beached really well. And now they're adding like additional jobs to these legendaries.
Yeah.
Like Raikou is electric, but he can command thunder.
Yeah.
Entei is fire, but he can command magma. Suicune is water, but it can command the wind.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just interesting. It's interesting that they're like adding complexities to that Pokemon.
Maybe it's because it's so aerodynamic, because the wind, as it's running, the wind doesn't catch anything because it just goes through the crystal on its
That's the Dyson fan.
Yeah,
on
that's
its head.
the Dyson fan on its head.
Oh no. Anyways, anyways.
In case it doesn't make it into the episode, we were talking about getting a Dyson fan for the podcast room.
He says it's hot and toasty in here when the door is closed. That incarnation of the North Wind, the description, that's from multiple Dex entries.
Yeah.
Which implies that it's powerful, which implies how powerful and elusive it can be. Because when you think of the wind, it's kind of like a mystical, like, why is it doing what it's doing? Nobody knows. It's like cool. But it also embodies the compassion of the pure spring water, and that comes from the Emerald and the Orus.
Okay.
Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire Dexes. Which shows that there is something different and more caring about Suicune than the other legendary dogs, which may be why it's getting more attention.
Or it's just somebody's favorite at the Pokemon Company International, and so they like to use it more. Suicune gets a lot. It has its own game, and Entei got a movie, but Suicune features heavily in the Celebi movie.
Suicune plays a major role in 2 Pokemon movies.
2.
Not just the one you mentioned, 2.
Oh.
The 4th Pokemon movie, Pokemon Forever, and the 13th movie, which is Pokemon Zoroark Master of Illusion.
Okay.
So in Pokemon Forever, I know you know this because you just mentioned it. In Pokemon Forever, Suicune is an ally to Ash and the rest of the crew, and it is trying to help save Celebi, the rest of the forest, from a villain known as the Iron Masked Marauder. It's clearly acting as a guardian of nature during this movie and trying to purify the corruption caused by the Marauder. But also in Pokemon Zoroark Master of Illusion, the shiny version of Suicune appears with the other shiny legendary dogs as the guardians of the Crown City, a beautiful city in the Sinnoh region where the plot of the movie unfolds. And Suicune plays, I think he must play a bigger role than they do in that movie even, but like it's the shiny version of Suicune that's in that one. I do not remember that movie. If we have watched it, I don't recall a single bit of it.
Yeah, I don't think we have yet.
So I'm excited to watch that in season 13. As stated previously, I'm sorry, before we move on, do you have thoughts on Celebi movie, Pokemon Forever?
I do, but I can get them into. I'll get to them in my part 2 of this episode.
Oh, you will.
You
will.
Yes.
Oh, you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Any thoughts on Suicune specifically in that movie? Or period. I guess.
Just that Suicune. I feel like maybe Suicune probably needed the most help in order to become a favorite. I don't know. It's hard to say. Suicune's such an interesting dog. I like the design. It's just it doesn't
feel very doggish though.
No,
it feels more like a goat.
It's the weakest to be sure.
It looks like you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the goats from Twilight Princess.
In design.
Because they've got their horns do more of
the Oron.
I'm literally moving my arms like you all can see me. I'm putting my arm in an ovular shape above my head.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you all can feel it.
It's got the Dyson wind tunnel.
Yeah, the Dyson wind tunnel fan on its head. So it probably looks the least dog cattish. Beast would be appropriate for sure for Suicune Legendary Beast. But anyways, so as stated previously in the intro, Suicune, Entei, and Raikou all run off.
Yes.
At first, when you find them in the Burn Tower in Ekritique, and then you find them in random encounters afterward in gold and silver versions. So like you're just running around, you go to Wildgrass looking for your Sunkern. That's not true because that's only in the park. You go to Wildgrass looking for Stantler, but then suddenly Entei appears.
Yeah.
And you have 2 seconds to try to catch it, and Godspeed.
Could you imagine you're trying to catch a Stantler, and instead you catch one of the legendary
It just
beasts?
wouldn't work in the real world. You just would see it.
Yeah.
In the trees, like looking out at you.
Yeah, but what if you go to throw your Pokeball at another Pokemon and one of the beasts are running by and it like lines up where they pass right as your Pokeball.
They do this slow motion. You do this slow motion. Yeah. Very cool. However, in Crystal, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Suicune has a specific cutscene, or not a specific. Suicune has specific cutscenes, encounters that occur throughout the game in the overworld. So you can find it. I listed a couple things, but it becomes kind of convoluted, the differences between where you can find it in Soul Silver and Heart Gold and where you can find it in Crystal. But like some examples are north of Cinnawood City, outside Mount Mortar, etc. Like other locations vary depending on whether you're playing Crystal or whether you're playing Heart Gold, Soul Silver. It places it. Those cutscenes really solidify placing it on some kind of pedestal.
Yeah.
Above the other two, which is interesting. We'll just leave it at interesting. We don't know why it happened. We don't know if it's a story reason or if it's just a preference of the game developers or like why that is. But it does get some special treatment, I guess, for some reason in those games. In Crystal version, the way you encounter and catch Suicune is also different. So you have to obtain the clear bell item, which you get from the radio tower's director at some point in the game, and then you confront Suicune in the tin tower or the bell tower, and that's how you catch it in Crystal. In Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you will see Suicune in a few more encounters once you head to Kanto. Because spoiler alert, you do head to Kanto after you beat Johto.
Yes. And
it will finally be catchable after you defeat Misty and make your way up to Bill's house. It's going to be, there's like a little hill to the east, directly, like right next to Bill's house. And that's where you can catch it. If you fail to catch it, supposedly, this is from the internet. I did not try this. And I will not be risking it either when I go to catch it. I'm just going to try to catch it. But like, supposedly, if you fail, you can try to catch it again in the burned tower once you have beaten the Elite Four again. And that's just based on what I've read. I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
So if anybody has done that, let us know, I guess.
Yeah.
That's all the game information for Suicune.
Yeah.
It's just very different. It's very different from the other dogs. Suicune's Paradox Pokemon.
Yeah.
Is called Walking Wake.
Yeah.
And it is wild looking in my opinion. It turns Suicune into like a bipedal, hunched over,
it's a raptor,
crouching Pokemon like a raptor.
Yeah.
And its face becomes a lot more menacing looking because it gets more dinosaurish, like jaws looking. Kind of makes it look like a Land Before Time villain.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Speaking of Land Before Time, it kind of he looks like he's gonna steal some eggs or something. It, of course, also gains a dragon typing, and it is known for being ferocious, according to the Scarlet Dex, as opposed to Suicune's like calm and powerful presence. Yeah. So it feels like Suicune doesn't have to try to be powerful; he just is. And like a raptor in dinosaur stories and dinosaur movies, he's vicious. Yeah. Walking Wake is vicious.
Clever girl.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Suicune is the only one of the trio that is a game mascot and is featured on the box art cover of Pokemon Crystal version.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun fact. It's a fun fact.
Yeah, that's true. It's the only of any legendary trio. I guess unless you count Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza, but I don't think they count because their legendaries are the Regis. So yeah, like it's the only legendary trio that makes it onto the box, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And also, it's not like you can go buy the box art or the in-box game right now. It's a fun fact.
No, that's true. That's true.
Leave my fun fact alone. Just like the Entei design, it didn't change too much from Gold and Silver to
any
Crystal,
of the other games,
but it is very, very different. In
yeah, let me see this one. This is one that I have not seen.
It looks like a My Little Pony.
Does it
what
really?
It looks like. 100%. Yeah, here you go. Take that. My Little Pony.
Oh my God, it does. It looks like a depressed horse.
Like a sad ice horse.
Yeah, like it's got long flowing hair, but it's like human hair. You know what it looks like? it looks like the sad meme alchemy dog from Full Metal Alchemist, but as a horse. And it's got hands. Why does it have hands? Why is it a horse that has hands? Oh, that's cursed.
Yeah.
That's cursed imagery.
Yeah. It's kind of cute.
No. It's cursed.
I think it's kind of cute, but it does look like a My Little Pony. It
its
does not look
paws-
like Suicune at all.
Its paws have fingies.
Well, okay. That's fine. I know you don't like fingies on animals. So Suicune, for some reason, beloved angel of the Pokemon franchise. Entei, second best angel. Raikou, Pokemon franchise says, no thank you.
Yeah,
It was just in this one game.
It's
Not sure why.
Poor Raikou.
Yep.
He's so cool though.
Yeah, he is. I mean, they're all three are cool. There's
Yeah.
no denying that. It is wild to me, like how much extra like love Suicune gets.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's a cool Pokemon. It's from what I remember from the fourth movie, it was cool in that. But yeah, it's legendary dogs.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about the birds and the onion. Celebi's an onion.
Leek?
No, onion.
Green onion?
Green onion.
Okay. No, I'm excited to hear about it. I had a lot of fun researching the dogs.
Yeah.
And I learned some things, mostly about Raikou, honestly, just because I probably knew the least about Raikou.
Yeah.
And like what it's based on and like that kind of thing. That was really cool. But it was neat to dive into them and to get like a
Cool.
refresh on some of the things that I haven't seen for a while or haven't
Yeah.
noticed in a while. So yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know what your favorite legendary dog or beast or cat is. Let us know what you like to call them. Let us know what theory you subscribe to, if you think they were originally evolutions or if you think they're embodiments of different elements. We want to know. We want to hear from you, and you can let us know your feelings by any of your feelings, not just on this episode, just all your feelings.
Yeah.
You can let us know how you feel about the legendary dogs by going to any of our socials at Another PKMN Pod on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, etc. And you can also reach out to our website, anotherpokemonpodcast.com, or you can email us at anotherpokemonpodcast@gmail.com. Or if you really enjoyed the episode and you want to give a shout out,
Yeah.
5-star shout out, if you will, you can give us a review on Apple Podcast or reach out to us on anywhere you can hear my voice at all.
Mhm.
And we will have a part 2 where a guy you tried dives into the legendary onion and its bird friends.
Yeah.
And until then, we will see you next time. And we hope you have a great time playing Pokemon. That's what you're going to go do right now, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Look forward to part 2. Feathers, onions, and hands.
I cannot deal with you. I'm gonna go defend Gotham.
Okay. Okay.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out of here.